Have you ever heard of the perfect crime? It's the kind you only see in movies, where every detail is meticulously planned and flawlessly executed. Today we're diving into a story just like that, a crime so brilliant, so audacious, it almost worked. But as they say, the devil is in the details, and one tiny, almost insignificant mistake brought the entire masterpiece of deception crashing down. This is the story of a perfect crime that went disastrously wrong because of one small oversight. Our story begins with a man we'll call Arthur. He wasn't your typical criminal mastermind. He was an ordinary accountant, a man you wouldn't look at twice on the street. He was quiet, methodical, and incredibly intelligent. For years, Arthur worked at a prestigious investment firm, handling millions of dollars for wealthy clients. But beneath his unremarkable exterior, a plan was for me, a plan to pull off the heist of a lifetime without ever picking a lock or holding a gun. Arthur spent 2 years planning. He studied the company's internal systems, learning every loophole, every security flaw. He created a web of ghost companies, offshore accounts, and fake identities that was so complex it would make your head spin. His plan was to siphon off small, untraceable amounts of money from hundreds of different accounts over a long period. These were rounding errors, mere cents at a time, amounts so tiny that no one would ever notice. He calculated that over 5 years, these digital breadcrumbs would lead to a fortune of over $50 million. The plan was genius. It was silent, digital, and seemingly untraceable. He knew the auditing schedules and how to manipulate the records to cover his tracks perfectly. He even planned his escape. He had a new identity, a passport, and a one-way ticket to a country with no extradition treaty. He would simply vanish one day, leaving behind his old life to live out his days in luxury. For the first 4.5 years, everything went exactly according to plan. The money flowed into his network of accounts, accumulating into a massive fortune. No alarms were raised. No one suspected a thing. Arthur was on the verge of pulling off the perfect crime. He was just months away from his grand finale, the day he would disappear forever. He had become a ghost in the machine, a digital phantom stealing millions from right under everyone's noses. The final phase involved one last larger transfer to consolidate his funds before he vanished. He was confident, maybe a little too confident. He had reviewed his plan 1,000 times. Every variable was accounted for, every risk mitigated. What could possibly go wrong? He was about to find out that in a game of perfect details, one small imperfection is all it takes for the whole thing to unravel. The D-Day arrived. Arthur sat at his home computer ready to execute the final transfer. He typed in the long string of account numbers, the security codes, the routing information. It was a symphony of keystrokes he had practiced countless times. He hit enter. The money was gone from the firm and on its way to his final holding account. A smile spread across his face. He had done it. He was free. He shut down his computer, packed his go bag, and prepared to head to the airport. But then his phone buzzed. It was an automated email notification from the banking system. It was a simple transaction confirmation. But as he glanced at the email, his blood ran cold. The email was addressed to Mr. Arthur P. Wexler. It should have been sent to the alias he created for the final transfer, Mr. Alistair Finch. In his haste, in that one final moment of triumphant execution, he had made a single typo. He had accidentally linked his real work email address to the final ghost transaction. It was a tiny error, a digital fingerprint left at the scene of a digital crime. Initially, no one noticed. The transfer went through. But a few days later, a junior IT analyst was running a routine system check. He was supposed to be looking for something else entirely, but he stumbled upon an anomaly. An internal company email address was associated with a large external transfer to an unknown entity. This was highly unusual. The analyst flagged it for his supervisor. At first, they thought it was just a system glitch, but they decided to dig deeper. They pulled up the transaction details and saw the name Arthur Wexler. Alarm bells started ringing. Why would a mid-level accountant be involved in a multi-million-dollar transfer to an offshore account? The company immediately launched a full-scale internal investigation. They put a freeze on Arthur's accounts and alerted the authorities. They started unraveling his complex web of lies, one thread at a time. The single email address was the key that unlocked everything. By the time Arthur landed in his sunny, non-extradition paradise, his face was already being broadcast on international news. The authorities, guided by the digital trail he had accidentally left, were closing in. They tracked his flight, and local police were waiting for him at his luxury villa. His dream of a life of leisure was over before it even began. He was arrested while sipping a cocktail by the pool. All that planning, all that patience, all that genius, and done by a single careless typo. He had built a fortress of deception, but forgot to lock one tiny digital door. Arthur Wexler's story is a chilling reminder that there's no such thing as a perfect crime. It shows how even the most brilliant minds can be brought down by the smallest of human errors. It planned for every possibility, except for the one that came from his own fingers. In the end, his meticulous 5-year plan was foiled in a matter of seconds. It wasn't a brilliant detective or a high-tech security system that caught him. It was a single character and an email address. A perfect crime ruined by one small, fatal mistake. What do you think? Is it arrogance that led to his downfall, or just bad luck? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's fascinating how a grand plan can hinge on such a tiny detail. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of brilliant plans gone wrong. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.